Picture a royal tomb in Joseon Korea. A great green mound rising from the earth, stone guardians standing watch, a king's name carved deep into cold rock so the world will never forget him. Now imagine you are buried somewhere near it. Not honored, not loved, simply placed beside a man you never once met, never spoke to, never even saw. It sounds like a cruel nightmare from the distant past, a horror locked safely away in history. But the cruelest part was never the grave at all. Because for women like you, the burial did not begin when your body was lowered into the ground. It began decades earlier, on an ordinary morning in a small village, when powerful men decided your life was no longer yours to live. You were a child with dreams. You had a mother, a name, a future you could almost touch. And then, in a single morning, the palace reached out and quietly buried all of it. This is how it truly happened. You are 14 the morning they come. The sky is still gray when the officials arrive on horseback, their robes stiff, their faces unreadable. Word spreads through the village like cold water. The palace is choosing girls. And somehow, out of everyone, their eyes settle on you.
Your father bows so low, his forehead almost touches the dirt. Your neighbors whisper that your family is blessed, that this is an honor most people only dream of. To serve inside the royal palace, to live among silk and gold, surely this is a gift from heaven. But your mother does not smile. She knows something the others refuse to say out loud. Girls who enter those gates do not come back. There are no visits, no letters, no weddings, no grandchildren. The honor they speak of is really a goodbye. She has watched other mothers in other villages weep over the same honor. In the last moment before you leave, she takes your hand and presses something into your palm. A simple silver hairpin worn smooth by her own fingers over the years. So you never forget where you come from, she whispers. You do not understand yet, but you will. The palace takes your breath away. Painted halls stretch farther than your whole village could ever reach. Roof tiles shine like polished jade. Gardens bloom in perfect rows, every flower placed as if by magic. The robes here are softer than anything your hands have ever touched, and the food smells richer than any feast you imagined as a child. For a moment, you think the rumors were wrong. Maybe this really is a blessing. Then the silence teaches you the truth. You learn to walk without sound, to keep your eyes down, to speak only when spoken to, and even then, in the smallest voice you own. You learn that a single wrong glance can end you, that laughter must be swallowed, that tears must be hidden, that your body no longer moves the way you want, it moves the way you are told. The older women instruct you with quiet, tired faces. They do not need to explain why. You can see it in the way they flinch at footsteps, the way they fall silent when a door opens. And slowly, the heaviest truth settles over you like winter. Every breath you take, every year ahead of you, now belongs to one man. A king you have never seen. A king who does not even know you exist. The years pass quietly, the way water wears down stone.
On paper, you become one of the king's women. Your name is recorded in the royal ledger, your rank assigned, your duties fixed. In the eyes of the law, you belong to him completely. And yet, he never comes. You see the palace stir when he passes through distant courtyards. You hear his name spoken with fear and reverence, but he never looks your way. He does not know your face. He could pass you in a corridor and feel nothing, because to him, you are not a person. You are only a number among hundreds of others. You begin to understand the shape of your life. You may grow old waiting for a man who will never call your name. You may spend every season inside these walls, untouched, unseen, unremembered.
It would be unbearable if not for her. Another palace woman, close to your age, with a laugh she keeps hidden like a secret. She shares her rice with you on cold nights. She remembers your mother's village. In a place built to erase you, she sees you. And for the first time in years, the loneliness lifts, which only makes you realize how deep it truly runs. It starts so small, the way all dangerous things do. A shared glance across a crowded hall. A whispered joke when no one is listening. Late at night, the two of you trade memories of home, the smell of rice fields, the sound of your mothers calling you in for supper, the dreams you once had before the gates closed behind you.
For the first time, the palace feels less like a cage. Her quiet friendship becomes the one warm thing in a world of cold stone. You begin to laugh again, softly, carefully, only when the doors are shut. But you forget where you are. In this palace, nothing goes unseen. Every corridor has watching eyes. Every closeness is measured. Friendship between palace women is not forbidden, but loyalty is owed to the throne alone, and any bond too strong, any whisper too private, can be twisted into something else. You tell yourself you are being careful. You tell yourself this small happiness is harmless. You do not yet know how quickly the palace can take even this away. One cold evening, the great bells begin to ring. Not the gentle tones that mark the hours, but a deep, endless tolling that freezes everyone in place. The king is dead. The palace erupts in mourning. White cloth covers everything. Wailing fills the halls. And in the middle of all that grief, a forbidden thought rises quietly in your chest. Maybe now it is over. Maybe now you are free. Without a husband who never knew you, surely there is nothing left to hold you here. Surely you can finally go home. For one fragile moment, you let yourself imagine your mother's face, the village road, the open sky beyond these walls.
But the freedom never comes. Death changes everything for the king. His name will be carved in stone, his tomb built like a mountain, his memory protected for centuries. But for you, nothing changes at all. You belong to him in life, and the palace has decided you belong to him still, even now that he is gone. With no husband to claim you and no child to give you worth, you become something the world has no name for. Not a widow, not a wife, not free. You are sent to live out your days in the quiet shadows reserved for women like you, perhaps in endless service, perhaps within the walls of a palace temple where forgotten women fade like incense smoke. The seasons blur together, year into year. Your hair turns gray. The faces around you change, then disappear. The friend who once shared her rice is gone, lost to time or distance, and you never learn where. Through all of it, you keep one thing hidden against your heart: the silver hairpin, worn smoother now by your own fingers, just as your mother's once wore it. It is the only proof that you were once a girl with a village, a family, a future you could almost touch. It is the only thing left of the person you were before the palace buried her. When you are gone, the records will remember you. They will note your title, your rank, the year you entered the palace, and the year you left the world. Clean, careful strokes of ink, preserved for centuries in royal archives. But they will not write that you were afraid the morning they took you. They will not write your mother's voice, or the silver hairpin pressed into your palm, or the dreams you carried through the gates at 14. They will not write about the friend who shared her rice, or the laughter you hid, or the home you never stopped missing. History will keep you as a single line in a ledger, a name, a number, a duty performed. And everything that ever made you a person will quietly vanish, as if it had never even existed at all. Return now to that royal tomb. Visitors still come. They stand before the great mound and speak the king's name, the one carved deep into stone, the one history refused to forget. They admire his reign, his power, his legacy. No one asks about you. No one asks about the countless girls who entered the gates at 14 and never walked out. The women whose names became numbers, the lives that vanished quietly beside a single man's glory. And here is the truth no record will ever tell. The palace did not bury you the day your body was placed in the earth. It buried your childhood, your love, and your future long before that, the moment it first reached into your village and took you. All that remains of you now is a single silver hairpin, a silent witness. If you think that story deserved to be told, leave a like. It takes 2 seconds, and it's the only thing that tells me to keep digging up stories like this. I'll see you in the next one.